Greetings. I am president of the School of Christian Ministry, and this school offers a wide range of courses, Christian courses and secular courses. We offer courses in English language, we offer courses in world history, sociology, psychology, you name them, computer software, English, so on. Now, let me tell you about a little about the English language. As a speaker, a public speaker, I can tell you that when one is able to arrest the attention of one's audience and express oneself in clear language. We're dealing with the English, and it goes to every language, but I'm here dealing with the English language. One will be considered an effective speaker. And why speak to public in a public way, public to the audience, a public audience, if one is not able to express oneself in a manner that is acceptable, that is clear, that is to the point, and that captures the attention of the audience, because you're communicating something. You want people to know, to understand, to accept what you're saying, to embrace it. You want to be able to dialogue, to reason, and not to be searching for words. The only solution to that is to learn the language, and you have to learn it in a practical way. There are certain things that you have to do in order to learn the language. There are certain basic fundamental principles of the English language that you must master, and they are not difficult. They are not impossible. I'm talking to people who might be studying English or desiring to study English as a second language. Maybe you have a grasp of it, but you want to improve upon what you have. You want to polish up what you have. This is your opportunity, and the courses here are offered. You may be able to, if you can choose to relate to me in a classroom fashion. The classroom is online classrooms, and I correct the work and tell you what the errors, and you fix the errors. Or you can choose to just do the thing on your own, buy the course and do it on your own. In that case, I'm not responsible for you. You just buy it and work on it on your own. If I were you, I would choose to have my lecturer guide me and to help me and to point out my weaknesses and my strengths, if I have strengths, and so on. Now, the English language, let us focus on that. The same principle applies to all the other secular courses or religious courses. You might be a religious person, you might be active in a church, and you want to be more effective. You want depth. So you want to improve yourself. And the school offers 3 programs: a certificate program, a diploma program, and the first degree program. Or you may just buy a course, or you may buy few courses. You don't care to get a certificate or a diploma. You just want to do courses in areas that you think are important to you. Let me say a little here on the English language. Now, the English language was first brought to England, Wales, and Scotland in the 5th, 6th, and 7th centuries during the invasion of the country by the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. These were Germanic tribes from Germany. You know, the Roman Empire extended westward, but there are certain areas it did not conquer. It did not conquer Germany, and it was the Germanic tribes that brought down the Roman Empire in the West. And I'm speaking guardedly, because it It went on in the eastern part of the world, what was not known as Roman Empire anymore. It became known as the Byzantine Empire. Anyway, these Germanic tribes, and there are several of them. Yeah, these are the Angles and Saxons and Jutes. You have the Ostrogoths and so on. Several of them. The language takes its name from the first of these tribes, which was also the most numerous and for some time the most powerful. So the Angles and Saxons were more in number than the Jutes. So the language takes the name from English, takes the name from the Angles and Saxons, or some people say Anglo-Saxon. But English, when first introduced into England, differed largely from the present language both in grammar and in vocabulary. So language has a way to grow. Words change meaning. Structures change. At that time, back then, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th century, the German man or woman and the English man or woman could communicate. One didn't have to study the language of the other. But over the centuries, the languages grew apart. So they have to study the languages now as a foreign language. In grammar, the most noticeable difference is the large number of inflections in use in Old English, which I won't have to get into because I don't need that now. We don't use that now. In very many nouns, all case forms, and in nearly all nouns, some case forms were inflected. We don't need that now because the language has grown away from that. Has grown from that. The languages which English most resembles are Jute or Dutch, German, Norse, and some other languages of the Northwest Europe, and these languages are, which English often grouped together and spoken of as the Teutonic or Germanic languages. So when you see the term Teutonic languages, it is talking about the English language, the Dutch, the German, the Norse, and some other languages of Northwest Europe. It would take in languages of Scandinavia, because there was a time when the Vikings were invading the western and southern and central areas of Europe and so on. Language is so important, and I don't have to get into all of it. The language is spoken by the inhabitants of the whole of the British Isles, England, Scotland, Wales, no doubt, well, it used to be Ireland, now it is Northern Ireland. In pre-English days, and of some parts in modern times, are grouped together as Celtic languages. So in pre-English days, the language used to be Celtic. Such are Welsh, Irish, or Erse, Gaelic, Manse, and so on. But as I said, languages grow. And it's important to know the root form of a language, where it has come from, right? And other languages, it's really interesting to know the root cause, or the root, or the etymology of the language that you speak. I want to encourage you to sign up with the School of Christian Ministry. Don't let the name put you off. You choose the courses you need and study with me, or you have the choice of buying a course. I will open up the classroom to you, and you'll have 14 weeks in which to complete the course in English. We have a number of different levels. English is taught at different levels. You have English 1, English 2, English 3, English 4, English 5. And it is really to reinforce certain structures, grammatical structures in your system. Along with that, you are asked to read widely. Read widely. Just read. And you're asked also, you're required, whether you're going to correspond with me or not, read, because you're not going to get it if you don't read. Then you must write. When you read, write. Just choose topics. Just write, research, read and write what you understand from it. Just write. Reading and writing will serve to reinforce what you have gleaned from the lectures. I trust that you'll do well. I like when my students do well. I get a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction when my students do well. I want to encourage you to log on to Progress and get onto the global highways of learning, and it begins with your language. God bless you. God bless you until I hear from you. God bless you.